Man. Oops. Man. I was like, man, is this thing on? I was like, are we live? Is this thing working? I was kind of scared for a second.
See, you like them kids that was poking them. What was that girl? Was that Finding Nemo when she was shaking the bag with the fish in it?
Yeah, that was Finding Nemo.
See,
that was the good Finding. Well, but look, I be trying to tell this because I have a lady friend, and I'm gonna call her my lady friend until she act right. But I have a lady friend that loves Finding Nemo, and I still keep stressing to her.
Shark Tale the best.
Shark Tales is just 10 times better, man. Shark Tales is 10 times better than Finding Nemo. Please swing on me.
Lola, come back. I'm not a nobody. I'm a winner.
Man, my boy's in that car wash, struggling, trying to make ends meet. He was like, man, I'm trying to be a star, man. I want the baddies. He was like, why is that so hard? Nemo just was lost. Nemo was just being a disobedient jerk. My boy was trying to get to the bread, Will Smith.
Shark Tales was like Shark Tales. See, they should make a second one, man. It's been too long. But that was like a good old, rag to riches story that realized, you go back to rags because riches ain't for you.
I'm telling you, yeah. And he went back to that car wash. Exactly.
I'm right back.
But he got himself one that'll hold him down. So look, that's what we got to worry
about. Shout out
to
Angie, man.
We found out, at least with the Nemo story. No, I will say this. I'm sorry that we'll get to wrestling. This Finding Nemo story, when it starts like 5 minutes in, effed up. So messed up. Like Marlon with his chick, he like, yeah, we got all these babies. I done did my thing. I'm gonna continue to do my thing. We might have some more babies. He blinked and they all gone. He like, dang, I got one. Like, it's like, what happened?
I got one. See?
He said, what did I do? It's a cold, cold world out there.
It's evil world we live in. Okay, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm professional now. I might not look like it, but
yeah, exactly. You got the do-rag on. What is this?
Hey man, look, it was one of them days.
One of them days.
Rushing and as what they say, what the Rock was saying. I was clanging and banging. I at least showed up though.
Look, man, it was one of them days, and I'm glad today is one of these days we get to hear from the boss, Justin. You see that profile picture? Look at that profile picture. That is a savage right there. That is a man that shouldn't be dealt with. Look at that. I almost did the same thing. I'm in a recliner, so it's hard for me to get up. But, I almost did the same thing. I was gone. My boy got a do-rag on and he ran away from Justin. That's how crazy this is.
Man, I was like, yo. Hey, man, the boss came up. I was like, okay, hold on.
Huge shout out to Justin. Well, he also invited us actually to slide on with them to talk about WrestleMania on Circle of Debate. Sorry, we could just completely miss that. We just finally started to get, number one, our equipment together. Number two, a set schedule to get everything together. And number three, pretty much, I honestly can say that we've been just trying to get it together on a personal level. I can honestly say that I'm a registered RBT, registered behavioral technician. I work with kids with autism now, and that's fun. It's a whole lot of fun. So, and of course, we always talk about Devin's promotion. Devin be like, hey, if you don't kiss my feet before you walk in here, we have a problem. That's Devin, man.
See, that's
Devin,
the complete opposite.
Devin be tolerating people at work. What'd you say to me? See. What you mean, excuse me? Excuse yourself. That's Devin, man.
Them days over with.
I'm telling you, Devin's like the tribal chief out there. Devin got the island. If you play WWE 2K25, I pretty much Devin goes to work at the island. He just make sure people act right.
I'm good because it's dark all the time out there. I need some sunlight.
So I need some sunlight. Hey man, shout out to Justin. He said, if I can talk, been anticipating the next time we get together, bro. I promise you, brother, it will happen soon. Me and Devin are trying to get
my life together, man.
And we keep saying that, but we are doing our absolute best to make sure this doesn't die. Like we're just trying to make sure we continue to do this, and for the long haul. I don't care. We're 50. We're gonna be talking on a podcast, just talking about this whole. Well, I know Devin gonna be like, man, this bum still doing this podcast at 50. I'm over here.
That's gonna be this dude. That's gonna be him. It's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be worse.
I think he hate women wrestling now.
Y'all think he ain't women wrestling now? Hey, that triple threat match was by far. I think that had to have been match of the night or at least the match of WrestleMania for me. That triple threat match. Well, we might as well just get into WrestleMania. Huge shout out to Justin. Congrats, my guy. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Trust me, that link will happen soon. But let me see if I can find something real fast. But while I'm finding this, Devin, your thoughts on WrestleMania, not even just night one, but as a whole, because I'm hearing just a mixed bag of emotions. I hear a lot of people talk about this WrestleMania was awesome, and once you get to the very end of it, I mean, and a lot of people talk about how they were a little disappointed with the build to WrestleMania and how it turned out. Your thoughts?
My feelings on WrestleMania 41 this year. I want to say that I thought it was okay.
Wow.
And I mean, because I put it this way, if I'm looking back a year ago, given even how whatever story they want to tell us, how they pivoted or whatnot, where if it was supposed to be Roman and The Rock at first, and then it was Cody, however it worked, it seemed like it worked out. However it was put together. This year, it almost felt like they were going that same way of like we just throwing stuff together, but it's like they just like didn't finish throwing stuff together. It's it didn't feel as like a full complete WrestleMania as last year did. Now, granted, I don't want to take away from like awesome things like the women's triple threat match that started off night two, for instance. I don't want to take away from Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. It's just, for instance, like the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. While it was a okay match, it was just different to experience a heel John Cena slow paced match. And then you got all these other strings that were tied to it with The Rock. Then you got Travis Scott getting a WrestleMania entrance before a lot of people. So and then all that took just way too long for me. And then I was already tired from watching, a good 3 nights straight of wrestling, which I ain't gonna complain, but it just felt, just okay. I wasn't like, blown away, but at the same time, I didn't, sit up here and, shut it off, as you would know.
Right. And we actually got the chance to spend balls. Actually got the chance to spend WrestleMania together. I thought that was pretty awesome in itself.
I had to worry
After
about Wi-Fi no more, man.
had to worry about Wi-Fi
All these
exactly.
years of getting spoiled, not like that, but spoiled in a bad way. Finding out like people winning before they won on my TV, so that was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I was like, we're usually texting each other throughout it all. I was like, this time we got a chance to see it. Justice says we better still be doing it at 50, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna still be doing it at 80, if you know what I'm saying. I would be able, okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Sorry, too much.
This chair making it. This chair ain't making noise, is it? Because I keep trying to nudge him like, hey man,
You just pull something. This belt ain't making noise, is it? I just pulled it. I just,
look at
see. I wasn't even. We didn't even hear
I
it.
feel like
We
you
didn't
go to
even
the grocery
see
store with that thing. I feel like they
it.
let you like skip the line too. They be like, oh, you know what? You only got one item. Man, come on up here, dude.
And it was so crazy because we did go to the SmackDown where they disrespected Charlotte Flair. I texted in a circle of debate. I said, I just thought to myself, and now we were together. I said, this is all Justin's fault. I said, that was my exact words.
That
This is
was that
all
was my
Justin.
underlying feeling too. Like I was
I
just
said,
like, man, I feel like Justin just rubbing his hand somewhere. Like
Justin was doing the Birdman hand rub, and everybody, Tiffany came out. What time is it? Everybody, Tiffy time. After Charlotte said, you hear that? That's power. And I'm like, yes, that's power. And then Tiffany Stratton, of course, just went on to just blatantly disrespect my GOAT. But it's okay. Charlotte did deserve to lose. Tiffany, the right person won. But here's where I was getting at. And I'm sorry because I didn't hear this. So I just got the notification before we went on air. And I wanted to see this, and hopefully I am on a part where we can somewhat play it to get somebody's reaction. But Devin, do you see this?
I do see this.
So I got a notification. Get Yo Live, Worst
I
Mania.
do see this.
First off, shout out to Get Yo. Get Yo's an amazing podcast. Me and Devin actually spent some time on there as well. Get Yo Vince, Get Yo Justin, of course, Google Garn. Of course, we had a fun time with them. I think that was a couple of months ago. And like I said, that's the first notification I got. Get Yo Live, Worst Mania. I was like, geez, I want to see. Let me see if I could get a real response here.
And then he gets the win over Ray Phoenix. So
So the type of wrestling fan I with, right?
Okay.
Follow me here. Follow me. Is that I've been a pizza type of wrestling fan. Okay.
Okay.
And normally, when you choose tavern style, the true Chicago pizza, or you go deep dish, or sometimes people want to go pan or New York style, you know what you're getting,
Right.
right? You're getting dough, you're getting sauce, you're getting cheese, right? And then whatever topping that you want, right? You already kind of know what to expect, right? Like if you get a pizza from Gino's East or Dino's or something like that, you already know what to
Yeah.
expect, right?
Yeah.
You already know what to expect. So when people who become, you know, critics and they shit on Dave Meltzer, but then they too sound like Dave Meltzer, giving
Yeah.
ratings to WrestleMania, and some things happen that you may not be happy about because of
Right.
whatever situation, but you
Yeah.
still enjoyed watching it. It's like a pizza. You already know what to expect. WrestleMania is nothing but the most entertaining wrestling out there, right? That's why there's shows like GCW and AEW, right? There's why there's shows like New Japan to give you that real wrestling feel. You're not going to get that at WrestleMania, so I don't know why you spend your time rating and complaining when you know you're not going to get that. You know,
And you're
That's tough. I think that's tough. I like that we actually landed on that. Huge shout out. First off, again, want to give a huge shout out to Get Your Live, Worst Mania, Rusev Day, Yeet Champ. You can of course find them on Circle of Debate. I believe Circle of Debate's live now. Circle of Debate, of course, doing their thing, NFL draft going on. So if you're a huge fan of football, of course, there's a whole lot going on there you can check out. I'm gonna leave my comments to myself. Just know Shadur Sanders is ass. He's hot dog water. That's gonna be my comments on that.
See what I'm saying? See all this negativity.
Yeah, I gotta throw out my negativity. I gotta throw it out there. I'm sorry.
As long as you ain't keeping it in.
It's like it was just burning inside of me. I had to get it out. I said The Rock said
Justin said
Justin the Boss says The Rock definitely seen all the criticism about the main event and decided to do some damage control. That's a fact. We're actually going to get into that in a little bit as well. Justin also says Tiffany winning was absolutely the absolute correct decision. The match, on the other hand, was really bad. Yeah, the match was really slow and sloppy. It seemed like neither of them really wanted to cooperate with each other. There was already some bad blood there. I can already see Charlotte being like Tiffany Stratton, like, you just coming off, you just coming from college, and you just here, you don't really care about wrestling. I've bled into this, even though Tiffany had a point, he was playing volleyball and you got married multiple times and you're ugly. It's just like, she was just trying to like grill it, and I don't agree with any of that, just throwing out there. But, I do think there was a lot of bad blood there. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more professional than what it was. Didn't seem like it was. We don't have to go through every match because honestly, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, I don't care about. Just know Logan Paul is a freak athlete and he definitely deserves to be in a WWE ring. Hell, he definitely deserves a match at Mania. I'll say that. He definitely. We've seen a couple of his matches at Mania, and he doesn't suck. I'll say that he don't suck. So honestly, what was your go-to match at Mania, night 1 and 2?
For night 1 and 2, for me, off the dome, I'm gonna say for night 1, the main event. As painful as that was, I had to say Roman, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins did what they had to do. And Paul Heyman, he a snake, but we already knew this. We just accepted it for a couple years. But for night 2, another triple threat, the women's triple threat, I liked. I'm not usually I can't. I take that back. I do like triple threat matches. I ain't even gonna sit up here in front because you know me. I always sit down and watch a good old SummerSlam 2000, The Rock, Triple H, and Kurt Angle. So yeah, I was a triple threat guy this past weekend.
Yeah,
but then I also I'm sorry, I got the one more match.
Oh, it's all yours.
I thought Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, I was expecting to go into it not really caring for it, but I thought they did pretty good. I thought that match being just, the Sin City street fight. I'm like, you could have did that on SmackDown. But that's one it wasn't my favorite, but I'm not gonna say I crapped on it.
Yeah, I loved both triple threat matches. Roman, CM Punk, and of course Seth Rollins being the go-to. I thought everybody just put on a classic, in that match. And then, of course, when you see the low blow to CM Punk first, as soon as I saw Roman Reigns, move his wise man over behind him, I was like, yeah, I kind of already know where this is going. My man's about to get nut shotted, pause, which happened. And Seth Rollins, I thought he played it perfectly. He didn't even turn around. He's just like, hey, bro, I already know what you did. Just let me finish off the job. Let me continue to do what I've been doing to this man for the past, 7 years, a decade.
Professional backstabber.
Just continue to smack this man with that's the crazy part. Seth Rollins always be like, man, it's your fault. Roman this powerful. It's your fault. Roman this tough. But every time we come around, there's always a point in time where Seth Rollins has to hit this man in the chair. He's done this at least 5 times.
Not even that with the chair. It's just in general. Like, he always complain about Roman being this and that. But yeah, we look back in time and see him constantly messing with him. Hence, WrestleMania 31. He could have stayed his butt back there. But
okay,
no, my name.
You lost. You as soon as you said WrestleMania 31, nah, you lost me. It's like you lost me. You said stayed his butt there.
I'm saying my thing with Seth Rollins get on my nerve is he always want to complain about how bad Roman is, but never want to look at himself in the mirror and say, "Oh yeah, I've been messing with him too." That's why he was like, I was like, "Damn, man, forget you." I'm like, that's a part of the history. But
I thought you was like, man, Seth Rollins stupid. If he would have just stayed there, I'm like, wait. you said my man should just be like, hey, this stuff boring. Let me just let it continue to be boring. I was like,
no, I'm just saying, like, in terms of like motive. I'm like, granted,
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I'm trying to say is Seth Rollins, your hands be dirty too.
Yeah.
They even more dirty now.
Even more dirty now. And then you have Justin, Punk, Rollins, and Reigns was an excellent main event. And what followed on Raw was just excellent. Now, I do see some critics because a lot of people believe that Braun Breaker is now, I don't necessarily say an underboss, but I guess you could say a bodyguard, security, for Seth Rollins. But honestly, we can flip this around and just look at it as, hey, he's a Paul Heyman guy. The Braun Breaker being a Paul Heyman guy is filthy. Absolutely filthy.
We had a preview of it when in NXT when Braun, I think he went against Carmelo. Yeah. That NXT when they went against AEW, I think. And there was a whole lot of stuff going on. It was like one night Paul Heyman was like managing Braun, so you could see then like, oh yeah, he could definitely be a Paul Heyman guy in the future. And
that's literally all Braun needs. Braun don't need the IC title. Braun didn't need the IC title at all. Like, he already lost it to Jey Uso, and Jey Uso should have had a better run with it, honestly. Instead of having a world title, run that he's having now. Yeah, I'm hating. And that's where I wanted to lead to. Because I really want Seth Rollins to go on the most nastiest run of 2025. And what I mean by that is, look, you're a Paul Heyman guy now. Paul Heyman has some pull. And on top of that, there's some creative control there, with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is just, I think, masterclass, just in terms of just the wrestling in general. Him and Seth Rollins is just dirty work. And if Seth Rollins can just, look, I already gave Jey Uso 3 months. You know what happens here on the heel turn. If I got no faith in you, you only getting 3 months. Wait, ask Liv Morgan. And the first time I was correct. The first time I was correct on Liv Morgan. She did get 3 months. I'm giving Jey Uso 3 months. She surpassed. I think she went like close to 200. I think she went 280 plus days as champion, which was a great run by Liv Morgan. But just to reroute, I do think Seth Rollins, next target should be someone like a Jey Uso, after it's all said and done with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But I want to see a world title run with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. I know Seth Rollins already had the run with the world title already. I want to see what it looks like with Paul Heyman right next to him. I just think that is going to be absolutely incredible. And then what is Braun Breaker going to do? We got to see Braun Breaker advance to the main card at some point in time. When is he going to kind of split away from Seth Rollins is another question as well. I was talking about Seth Rollins potentially, at least in my eyes, having the chance of going for another world title run with Paul Heyman by his side. But of course, that leaves the question of, what do you do with Braun Breaker? Is he your security guard? Is he your bodyguard? What success are you going to give Braun Breaker, in that situation if Seth Rollins is going to be the guy? So just your thoughts on the Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman tandem, the trio.
Well, first, I agree that this entire thing with Paul Heyman, you got Braun Breaker with him. This could definitely lead to another world title for Seth Rollins. I don't see why not. To me, that was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, oh, well, that's his way of becoming, whatever world champion. That seems more likely right now. But with Braun Breaker moving forward, I mean, there's a potential towards the end of whatever this is. I don't know if they want to probably keep him being a heel as he comes out of this elevated, or do you want a potential, Batista Triple H type of thing where he's, coming out of this system? I don't know what to call it, faction, whatever, with Paul Heyman and whoever else they may add to it. Then you get like Seth versus Braun at some point in the future. But that's kind of how I see Braun coming out of it. Where like right now he will be kind of the bodyguard, kind of in a way, but eventually, he'll be at that main event level that he's, being able to be around now after getting out of the IC picture.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even Justin comes in and says it's great story telling continuity, having Braun Breaker with Heyman. He also says Breaker should more be the one challenging for the world title and Rollins being more of his guidance. I do like that as well. I do like Seth Rollins being more of a guidal figure.
He's a visionary.
Yeah, he's a visionary. Like, Paul Heyman could be the guy that's, managing the both of them. Seth Rollins already, he already has things to worry about with CM Punk. He has a lot to worry about with, of course, Roman Reigns. I mean, just going back on it, I know Big Bronson Reed just came out of nowhere and tsunami the man when we saw him and Seth Rollins go back and forth. Of course, he injured his ankle during War Games.
War Games.
So, Bronson Reed should be coming back. Not saying that he should be the attacking Seth Rollins soon. I'm just giving out names that Seth Rollins has some history with that he could be distracted from. But honestly, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. I can't wait to see what comes out of this.
I love seeing Roman get cheated. I love seeing Roman end up on the losing side of the stick.
Yeah, even when we left Friday Night SmackDown, we saw Paul Heyman crying. I can't.
Man, I heard Roman was like this, man. He said something.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't even do it justice.
Before we left Friday Night SmackDown, they like outlined Roman Reigns' body in chalk during the ring. Like that's how crazy it was. And then Cody Rhodes' theme music hit.
I'm telling you, it was fun. All you heard was wrestling has somebody. I'm like, all right, man.
And it happens all the time. I see it all the time. It happened in Phoenix and it happened in Indy, where you hear boom. I'm telling you, hear doom doom, and you'll see like either some kids or a family just run. It's just like it's like, bro, this is a dark match. Like, relax yourself. Like it's okay. You're gonna see the man again. Well, probably. Yeah. But even Justice says Braun out there breaking the tribal chief in half like a twig, like he's some loser, a bum, a scrub, a nobody. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. Roman didn't deserve that.
Man, Roman ain't Carlito. So
Roman ain't Carlito. Hey, Carlito's
granted, Carlito's still walking around. He's still playing 2K and chilling. So I mean, is that spirit really that deadly?
I
think Roman got hit with it and still tossed him out of the Rumble.
But what happened to Roman just the other day? He got speared through the barricade. He didn't even dodge it. He couldn't move.
I mean, he just got done going through a grueling triple threat match at WrestleMania.
And Rob Breaker went through a fatal 4-way.
Hey, he younger. We almost. I ain't gonna put out my age, but yeah,
I'll give it to Braun Breaker though. I think
Braun Breaker come to work every day. The tribal chief get that part time sometimes. Don't let him hear me say that. But
well, we can have I'm not gonna have a quick intermission to WrestleMania. I do want to talk about one more thing about Mania before we dip out here. Dip out to our next topic, excuse me. But
I was like, man, I'm tired of talking.
Well, John Cena, 17 time. Of course, we didn't see the final boss, The Rock. We instead saw Travis Scott. John Cena was laughing like, "Oh yeah, you about to get slapped again, you bum." Like it's over for you. You thought your eardrum was busted last time, man. He said, but of course, we saw, unfortunately, Travis Scott take a crossroad, and John Cena, of course, took advantage of the opportunity and beat Cody Rhodes and became 17-time champion. It was incredible. No smile on his face. He's just like,
He sure did pick the championship.
yeah, it is what it is. Just put it on his waist, took that mug back, walked out, and then came back on Monday Night Raw with it the same exact way behind him. And I was just like, you dirty dog. I love the Titantron, everything, just John Cena, just blank. You hear, of course, the emphatic music, but it's just a blank screen, John Cena. You know how, of course, from an editor standpoint, y'all know how long it took them to make that? Probably literally 2 seconds. You opened it up, John Cena. You just opened up your project, John Cena. We're done.
Cena.
The editing team was like, this is the easiest, probably $300K I'm getting paid for right now to do the edit this. Now, I'm sorry if you guys don't get paid like that, but I'm just making an estimated guess. But John Cena, champion, once again, for the 17th time. Of course, as I said, me, you, and my sister were watching it. My sister said that she is sick of seeing John Cena. She can't stand the man. She says she understands why people, feel that way about Roman, why people can't stand seeing Roman. And they contributed. She contributes it to, her also feeling that way about John Cena. She's been watching him since the very beginning, like we all have. And, she got John Cena fatigue. Devin, do you feel that way?
After Elimination Chamber? No, not at all. Because
after Elimination Chamber,
this is different.
Crazy.
This is different. Look, because think about it. I know every time you say think about it, I make people not want to think about it. But look, we potentially about to get at Backlash, Randy Orton and John Cena. Now, granted, we've seen that match probably 200 times. I know I have.
Yes.
But we ain't ever seen it where John Cena is the bad guy and Randy Orton is whoever he is in this. Sorry. So that dynamic we ain't ever seen in all these years. And if this is supposed to be John Cena's last year, why not? At least we can say we saw it. We got potentially, like, I ain't gonna, I'll take that back. Let's just go to, the weeks, the 3 week type of, I was about to go to SummerSlam. So, I'm thinking 5 steps ahead. Look, I want John Cena and CM Punk at SummerSlam, run it back from 2011.
I just want to know how this is going to turn out. I do like the change of tone from Ric Flair. Ric Flair was like, hey, man, if John Cena, if they even think about having John Cena win, I'll go to the ring myself. All right, bro. And then, of course, John Cena wins it. Congratulations to John Cena.
John Cena was like, I just went 18.
Right, exactly. And I love John Cena is like super serious. Like, hey, what did he say? 28 dates?
Yeah,
he said 27. Not only appearances. He was like, not matches, dates. And he's like, after that, done. Like, you get nothing. And I'm like, bro, I gotta buy everything that this man drops. Like, it's just like I gotta buy everything that this man drops at this point. Like, this is a masterclass from John Cena. Of course, I don't expect nothing less. Yeah, I'm glazing. Like, that's just, I'm a huge John Cena fan, of course. Never experienced John Cena fatigue. I don't even know what that is. Never even heard of it. It's not even a real thing, honestly. It's just something that people have made up. But I do think Cena versus Orton is going to be awesome. I do think, of course, as Devin mentioned, having Orton be the babyface in this, as Cena, of course, being the heel. I think this is going to be a masterclass from both parties. Randy Orton ain't doing nothing. Had a 5-minute match with Joe Hendry. It's going to
be in St. Louis.
And it's going to be in St. Louis. That's why it threw me off, because before WrestleMania, there was a poster of Backlash, and it was a poster of Randy Orton. So I was like, oh, okay, it's in St. Louis. So, but what is Randy Orton going to be doing at this time? Of course, that's what it is. Huge shout out to Justin. That spear on Carlito was so wild. Carlito went from apples to pears. Hey, man, look.
Man, he was trying to make some apple slices, man.
Carlito, the only person I know that died from a spear and then came back the next week. Like, I was just like, that's just insane. Absolutely insane. John Cena saying. Justin says, have no issue with Cena winning his 17th title. Gives a chance to refresh Cody. Yes. I feel like definitely Cody Rhodes, we definitely need a break from Cody Rhodes and everything that he's done. A great reign. He did his job. It was time for a change, and I'm glad John Cena got his 17th. He also said it's gonna be awesome to see a Cena and Orton match with the Rhodes verse. I think it's gonna be awesome. I thought the match was awesome. I think John Cena put in some work there, and he also talked about getting a hair transplant. He's like, bullying works. Bullying does work, and I'm glad he said that. Hey man, we need bullies out here nowadays. That's how we learn. I ain't gonna put that out there. Let me refresh that.
I'm gonna cut that exact quote.
Cut that exact quote. No, honestly, but in all seriousness, I do think John Cena is going to be a great champion. It's going to be a great run for him. Like I said, 27 dates, and after that, done. Absolutely nothing.
Can't see me.
We pretty much got to pray to see John Cena come back, and then even then, I think it's going to take a lot. But honestly, all in all, I think it's cool. Are you a fan of this El Grande Americano storyline?
No. And it's mostly because I think Chad Gable can literally just, he was going in a good direction. I don't know why they want to do this. You got the it's not the Alpha Academy, American Made. You already got him with them. You got the Creed brothers, Ivy now, Chad Gable. Why don't you just focus on that? All this unnecessary. He can still feud with Rey Mysterio, Rey Phoenix, however he wants. He can just have a match. All this extra stuff, I feel like it's swaying away from the momentum that was built from last year to the point where we thought, oh yeah, he could beat Gunther for the IC championship. Do we think he can do that right now? Like, I mean, not saying he can't, but look what they got him tied up into. And I don't think he needs it.
I mean, and even speaking of that, I'm glad that you even brought up Alpha Academy because I don't want to spend too much time on mainly just the primary fact that Chad Gable, I think I agree with everything. I agree with everything that you said about that. Chad Gable could be doing a whole lot better, but I think he's a great wrestler. And as long as we're seeing Chad Gable more often, and he ain't sitting on the sidelines wasting away, I guess you could say. Honestly, just going back to Alpha Academy on Monday Night Raw, they came out, challenged the New Day, and we didn't even get a match. Because, of course, we saw Rusev just pop out. Rusev walked in, got into a 1v1 with Otis. Well, first he got rid of Akira Tozawa, then got into a 1v1 with Otis, and then pretty much beat the brakes out of Alpha Academy. And he got a solid pop. He got a huge pop when he came out there, but then, of course, after he started beating up everybody, we kind of knew what was happening. But Rusev, back in WWE, what do you see Rusev's ceiling? Right now with the new and improved Rusev coming to WWE?
Well, I can definitely see him. Look, I'm over here. Yeah, I can see him in the IC picture. He can get old Dominic out the way. Like, come on now. I don't want Dominic to lose that quick. But, there's potential for just things like, hey, Rusev versus Jacob Fatu. Come on now. I really don't know how that would work. So, let me not throw that out there. But, yeah, it's been a while. I'm still, when I saw him, I was like, oh, Miro. It's been a minute calling him Rusev. So, and he don't look like Rusev when he was Rusev. But hey, that's how it goes. So I guess he's gonna be on Raw. So yeah, I just see him really in the lane for the IC championship. I don't necessarily see him aiming for one of the like WWE championship or I don't know. Now that I think about it. Okay, I'm sticking with IC for right now. And then once he can do that, then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that honestly for Rusev. We're not there. I don't think they're gonna, put the rocket on him right now. But of course, you have so many great talents. Penta just came in. Rey Fenix just came in. A lot of people clowning Rey Fenix. Oh, well, you signed a WWE contract. Now you're fighting El Grande, losing to El Grande at WrestleMania. But hey, you got a WrestleMania check. How much was that Wembley check, brother? It's like we got to compare. We got to compare and contrast. But Justin also comes in. WWE just seemingly can't help themselves when it comes to weird and stupid gimmicks for Chad Gable. I know Shorty G just keeps getting the worst end of the stick, man. I'm telling you. He also said still don't see Rusev at any other level in the mid card. Yeah, I can't at all. Unless he starts picking up the pace and we start seeing some great work from the man. Maybe Lana starts coming in. Because I don't think Rusev is the greatest talker. I do think Lana can come in and help a whole lot with that. it might do some damage. Hopefully. But like you said, like I was mentioning before, the great talents, Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Malachi Black or Aleister Black, whoever, what kind of the black man that's coming back in, that's coming back
Whatever
in the
black
WWE.
man shows up,
Yeah, whatever black man that pops up. Like, and don't even get us started on the WWE ID people. When are we gonna start seeing them pop up? Evolve. Like there's so much talent coming through the woodworks here in WWE. It might get a little overcrowded. It's definitely gonna start getting a little overcrowded, but definitely gets you excited for the future, I would say.
I agree. Look at Stand and Deliver, for instance.
NXT, yeah, forgot to mention NXT. Hell, Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McCour brought her fine self out there.
That was a good match. I kind of knew it would be a no contest, but it was good nonetheless.
Well, I thought Stephanie McCour was gonna get dropped. Honestly, I thought she was gonna lose. I thought just okay, maybe so. I was like, maybe
she had the title match the next night. No,
right. That's why I was like, okay, she working double overtime. I was like, okay, she getting paid. But like you said, ended in a no contest. You saw Roxanne Perez and Julia. Of course, Roxanne Perez just looked fine. I'm sorry, let me just tell you all this, man. Just when she popped out there. And like she just looked bad. She just looked amazing. But Julia looks awesome too. She got into a face off of Rhea Ripley. It's a little too early for that. I think Rhea Ripley would dog her. Not like squash her, but I do think Rhea Ripley would come out on top now. I can't wait to see what Julia has. I just think Rhea Ripley right now is just OP here at WWE. I do want, when I heard her theme music hit, I was like, please. I'm getting sick of this already. Like I'm tired. I definitely have Rhea Ripley fatigue. Do you?
The way that whole triple threat match was built upon, because I mean it's like I already knew, but it just kind of they made it so forced in a sense. Like you could have just said, boom, triple threat match and went on like they did with Roman and CM Punk. But because I don't know Rhea, because I feel the same. I thought she was gonna come out and clear the whole ring, stand there and be like, I want my belt back. Like, okay, like
right, exactly.
I'm like, Bianca lost too. You don't see her. I want my belt back.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has just been ridiculous. And then of course, Roxanne Perez does end up losing. Of course, Stephanie McCour retains her championship, and then we get the usual face off. Jordan Grace still in the picture. We already mentioned Julia. We already got Roxanne Perez. We have the NXT North American Championship. Sol Ruka, congrats to her being the new North American champion. I'm so happy. I'm so happy she got the WWE Speed Championship that only a certain people do watch. I watch it from time to time. I ain't gonna lie, but I do think it becomes a little bit too obvious when it's only 3 minutes. You guys are spamming moves.
For Ruka 2 belts, man. I ain't think about that.
So yeah, Ruka 2 belts, man. I love to see it. Like I think she's an amazing talent, and I think she's definitely going to do some damage in the WWE. Shout out to Justin. God, I love me some Stephanie Vacure, man. I'm
gonna say Justin, he be sounding like Booker T when he be watching our matches. I mean, I do too, so I can't talk. So
every time, man, every time. Like Stephanie,
he hate Booker T. I forgot.
Yeah, as a commentator now, the only time I want to hear Booker T is when Stephanie McCure is fighting, or if Trick Williams is coming out. Other than that, I don't care. I don't care about anything else Booker T talking about. Because this is something serious, dog. This is some serious, man.
You gotta love it, man.
This is something serious, man. We ain't never seen these two fight before, man. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
Bro, like we ain't got time for this, man. Booker T makes me
bread,
sick.
No water, just meat. I can't do it, man. I tried. Just meat.
He need to get the hell up out of there, bro. We got to talk about Gunther crashing out. This is Raw just randomly coming up. Gunther crashed out. Of course, we came from a commercial break. Michael Cole deserved. I don't care what none of y'all say. Michael Cole deserved to get choked out. I wish he would have choked him out for longer.
Why?
I wish he would have choked. Like it wasn't because I'm a Gunther defender, and I think the reason why he actually walked defender. I'm a Gunther defender, man. My hands behind my back and everything. Look what Kaiser style, man. Tiffany Stratton better hit me up, man. But like, she in my DMs right now, actually.
He gonna be like, woo,
woo. No, but when you look at this whole thing with Gunther and Michael Cole, he walks up to Michael Cole, and Michael Cole, I'm not the one that tapped out to Jey Uso. What? I almost choked out Michael Cole for Gunther. Like, bruh, what you being disrespectful for? And then he got the nerve to come back after getting choked out, saved by Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee dying, which we're gonna talk about him later. But Michael Cole comes back. We can't talk about how we feel. We can't talk about how we feel. Talk about these wrestlers. Stephen A. Smith and LeBron. Stephen A. Smith, bro. You literally just walked up, and you didn't walk up. Excuse me. Gunther walked up to you, knowing that this man's angry, and the first thing you say is, I'm not the one that tapped out. I'm not the one that tapped out. All right, I'm going to show you tap out, buddy. I'm going to show you some tap out, buddy. About to weekend.
Yeah, you are, because think about it, man. Look, as great as Gunther is, he still has been defeated at WrestleMania, while the one great Michael Cole is undefeated. I'm just kidding. I'm honestly just kidding. Because even that match, there we go. Look at that. That's all I could have said this years ago. But I won't say that Michael Cole deserved to be choked out, because I don't feel the same way I did. Granted, this was 2011 Michael Cole. I would have been like, man, choke him out all day. Couldn't stand that man. But you know what? Look, Gunther crashing out, it's understandable. I get it. You know, especially when you tap out that fast, you know, to a move you've been putting this man in. You should, it's your move. You should know how to get out of it. But I digress. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna get, you know, Gunther versus Pat McAfee and Michael Cole at Backlash, and he gonna choke them both. I'm just kidding. He gonna choke them both out. But yeah, I don't know really. I thought Gunther would be gone for, you know, maybe a couple months. I ain't think he was gonna come out and instantly. I mean, granted, this is another. You know what? I take that back. That's a way to get him out for a while. He gets suspended or so for what he did. They want to take it, you know, really seriously. Like, you got Michael Cole up there. I think we should be able to voice our opinions without being assaulted. Like, man, come on, dude. Like, you and Jim Ross literally had a match at WrestleMania. Like, stop it.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Adam Pearce needs to seriously do something about this. How about you do something about it? How about you do something about it?
Man, he was talking about he was getting in shape. Like, come on, man.
Right, exactly.
You know,
like now, Pat McAfee. I'm sorry, Pat. I have a theory. I have a conspiracy.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I want to hear this.
I have a conspiracy on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee be showing up to Monday Night Raw exactly like Snoop Dogg, higher than a kite. You see Pat McAfee? Yeah, guys, I think it's just so cool that we're finally here on Monday Night Raw.
Hold on. Wait, yeah, I was trying to find me one. I ain't got one here, but dang, he be all like, all right, man.
Like, his face be all red, his eyes be all squinting. Yeah, I just think it's amazing. Like Michael Cole, I just think this is a cool environment that everything that's just like brother. Like, just drink some water. Like, I honestly be thinking Pat McAfee be faded a little bit in when he be show. And that's just a conspiracy. I'm not saying that this is true. This is just alleged. This is jokes.
Hey, this is my conspiracy shrug. So, you know,
But even then, Pat McAfee gets choked out. Like, he literally is in this choke, this chokehold for about maybe 2 minutes.
It was a while.
He should be dead.
Can I just voice one thing with that? Everything that from the choke to commercial break.
Of course.
Was there not a stretcher available?
Yeah, he just walked away.
Yeah, but not only that, this man walked away like this. Okay, I'm okay. Then he walks like a good 2 feet. Like, put him on a stretcher, get him out of here. You know, it's just no, because he had you in that thing for a good minute, and you gonna just walk up here, cough every 2 feet, and eventually go to commercial. Like, you could have made it more dramatic at this man. You know, he give you the little thumbs up or something. I don't know. It's Pat McAfee. I don't know. Him just walking up the ramp slowly, just every 2 minutes coughing. No, because you could have just did anything else in that minute.
Yeah. And that's one thing also that could have helped with this situation, because my uncle once told me, I'm gonna make it quick. My uncle once told me in a random basketball game, and we weren't even arguing. He just randomly said, don't like just randomly, just out of nowhere, don't ever turn your back during somebody while you're arguing because you don't know what's gonna happen. Pat McAfee literally, as Michael Cole's getting choked out, he runs up, punches him, pushes him, does this, and then turns his back. Oh, well, you're not gonna do anything. Like, bro, all you had to do was get choked out unconscious. Like Gunther literally like kicks him off of you, like he kicks him off of himself, like bum. You literally sit there lifeless. They grab the stretcher, you don't move a muscle until you get backstage. And I'm sorry, I'm not an expert. This is just my thoughts. But
it would have made it. It's like, I put it this way: the way Michael Cole was just talking about it constantly into that main event, like it was like like we should be getting treated like this. I should have seen that man get stretched out then, not just he could have came back later on. He could have went back there and drank some water, took him some what was that? I can't even think of it right now. Yeah, and he would have been okay. If you can walk up there and cough every 2 seconds, you could come back and call a match or whatever. No, you should have been stretched. I've seen people literally go through. I've seen Finn Balor. I'm gonna just digress, but still,
yeah, Finn Balor
should have been stretched out. Come on, now.
Yeah, he should have. I thought he should have been lifeless until he went backstage because at that point in time, when Michael Cole was like, "Yeah, we're still waiting to get updates from Pat McAfee," he literally just walked to the training room. He fine, we don't need an update. And if he ain't there next week, I think that's stupid. I feel like next week he should have spit a promo. Yeah, Gunther, you choked me out unconscious, but my back was turned. You hoe. Now wait till I see you again. Now I'm finna look at you in the eye and do you like Jey Uso, even though that's a lie. But give me something. But honestly, that's just us playing, fantasy booking. I do think, although Pat McAfee, I thought he handled it weird, with how him were walking out. I do think it was pretty cool how Gunther. Yeah, I'm fine, guys. Back away. Let me cough some more. Like, okay, brother. Like it was, but honestly, I did like the Gunther crash out. I got no problem with the Gunther crash out. I do think it was necessary. I definitely think it was necessary. But honestly, all in all, I do think Raw was a big old hit. I thought Raw was a big old hit. I thought WrestleMania was a big old hit. Any final thoughts on Raw or Mania?
I thought the Raw at the WrestleMania was pretty nice, especially with Braun Breaker at the end spearing Roman and joining with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, because that was one of those this is seeds for we're gonna be headed towards 42, or I'm just me, I'm already jumping to SummerSlam, so. But yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I still feel like WrestleMania was okay. It wasn't terrible, but I just felt last year. Granted, last year was 40. It was the 40th anniversary. You had Cody finishing his story. Everybody came out woo. And maybe WrestleMania 41 is I know you ain't never really watched them because you think you better than everybody. But I think WrestleMania 41 is maybe, the Star Wars Return of Jedi, I'm sorry. Empire Strikes Back. So, sometimes the good guys don't win. Sometimes you just gonna have to have an Infinity War type of ending.
Well, I enjoyed it. I thought we did get that when Cena won. I thought we got a huge hit with Cena won and Paul Heyman.
Don't get me wrong though. I loved it. You see, I was jumping when I saw John Cena win. I'm like, hey, number 17. I'm just saying, in terms of what it is, everybody was like, oh yeah, Cody finished his story. Now you just back on that ramp again.
Yeah, and John Cena sitting there looking at him on that ramp. I was on that.
He's like, hey, I've been there before. You'll be all right.
Right. He said, what, this your second time on this ramp? Bum? It's like, okay.
I think that's his third, because he sat up there on night one last year for no reason, knowing, everything was going to be okay the next day.
Oh, yeah, true. You got a point.
I was like, man, you got this. This is Bloodline rules, dude.
You got this. This is Bloodline rules. Hey, can you see this?
I see nothing right now.
You can't see this.
No, I just see our background with the nice my house in the middle, and they decided to squeeze your house to the right. So
let me do this again.
I saw like something you was trying to do, but it just didn't.
There we go.
Okay, now there we go.
There we go. Also, I just had to redo it.
I ain't gonna think I'm just lying.
But scrolling up, The Rock, I made the call to step back from the John Cena Cody Rhodes angle. Devin off rip, you believe it?
No, The Rock, man. No. You mean to tell me he gonna sit up there and insert himself all of into from Elimination Chamber? Hey, I'm sorry, because I didn't know if you was gonna have some further. I'm about to.
I was just scrolling to
But yeah,
the
I
part.
still think it's bull jive.
Now, you can say the actual terminology. It's fine.
Look, man, it's Thursday. You know, maybe Saturday, maybe Saturday. Definitely not Sunday. But no, The Rock, he full of it, man. No, because last year was cool. You know, you fit in with Roman's your cousin. I get it. You know, you have the little bloodline against Cody. Fine, I'm cool with that. But this year, no, it felt forced. John Cena could have did that on his own. He could have won the Elimination Chamber. Cody come out, you know, to shake his hand or whatnot, and they kick you in the nuts. You could have got the same thing. But just John Cena don't need The Rock to turn heel at all. And I'm not even gonna get started on Travis Scott. So no, The Rock showed up to NXT before he showed up to WrestleMania. Man, come on.
Well, he needed advice from his daughter.
And to come out and talk and say nothing for 5 minutes. Probably should have told us something.
Well, even then, speaking on the Pat McAfee show via video, Johnson said he felt his work was done after the events of March's Elimination Chamber, where Cena turned on Cody Rhodes, seemingly at The Rock's behest. He said, once the turn was made, it was up to Cody Rhodes and Cena to build and crush the story over the subsequent 6 weeks from Elimination Chamber to Mania, and he thought that it wasn't a good idea for his final boss character to be involved. When the plan was put into plan and executed, I knew then the best thing for the final boss. We've established this idea with Cody's soul and could always come back to it. I did feel and made the call that I don't want to be involved in that. Let the final boss step back into the shadows and let all the spotlight go to John. Let it all go to Cody. Let's not make it about John's soul or Cody's soul. Let's let them do what they do, he said. That sounds like BS, bro. Like, this just sound like garbage.
Hey, look how it made my face, man. I was just like, I can't even like smirk at this. Man, no, because look, why? That's all I'm saying. Like, if he wasn't gonna show, I don't know. I can't, man. It makes no sense to me because if he felt that way, like, oh, I'm gonna just let them do what they do. They could have did what they could do. You don't want to brought yourself into this. I can see like if we were like WrestleMania 30. I don't know, maybe 34 or something, and The Rock want to come in and, you know, shake things up. Fine. Now, no, there's other things that have been built upon a course of the over the year, not related to him. You know, just because he want to come out at Bad Blood and prove to everybody that he can count to 3, that nobody cares. Especially when you don't show up from Bad Blood was when, and then you finally show up again months later before Elimination Chamber talking about Cody's soul. And then, no, how your job done at Elimination Chamber? You had just started your job. That's like me coming to work on my first day. I guess I'm about to retire.
Well, it also says here, he added after the Elimination Chamber, he called both men and said the final boss's work was done, and they had pulled off the greatest angle in wrestling history other than Hulk Hogan turning heel. He said he loved the finish of the finish of the match, but that he would have adjusted and finessed a few things of how they got there. He didn't expound on what those would be. He said he could have been involved in the finish and is always open to conversations with TKO and WWE leadership, but questioned if he did that, where do we go? He also was cautious about various other commitments he has and not wanting to overstep. That's all.
I forgot I was going to say. It was a little bit of. I had found some little slight second of clarity. You know what? I don't know why he had to be so full of it. I mean, I don't mean it like that. He could just, if you was gonna tweet something, why didn't you just show up and tweet it? You The Rock. You on the board. Like I can see if he was me. I can sit up there and be like, yeah, I probably would have, you know, had them kind of do that a little quicker. But I'm me. I ain't back there, and I ain't gonna have a way to get back there right now. He can. He could just, hey, I'm in the back. Let me in, and you know, he couldn't even do that. I don't know. It ain't making sense. It would have been fine if he would have came out like Cody's doing something instead of Travis Scott getting this 2 minute WrestleMania entrance. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's fine for
Yeah, like,
Travis
don't hurt
Scott to come
yourself.
out and get Crossroads, but The Rock can't come out there like this. I'm gonna feel like Karrion Kross in a minute. Like
I'm gonna feel like Karrion Kross in a minute is crazy. I'm gonna feel, but then again, shout out to Karrion Kross. Did you see that? I was honestly so geeked on when the New Day walked past Karrion Kross and he kind of gave him that head nod. I was like, this came full circle. I was explaining to my sister. I was like, oh, hit him with that Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, look. And then I had to give her like the whole rundown of he was in their ear. He was like, Xavier, you need to stop being a bum, man. He was like, you gotta start tapping into your dark side, brother. And
see if AJ would have listened.
AJ gonna listen soon. I definitely think AJ is going to listen soon for sure. But there was I was trying to find this quote here. Because somebody said something that was actually really, really, I thought was really insane. Oh. But I do think it shares some hints of saying because somebody, I don't want to say it was Bully Ray, but I don't want to put words in Bully Ray's mouth, so I'm gonna find it. But there was a certain someone that said that AEW has officially become a tryout for WWE.
I did see this, and I don't know who said it too.
Right, I typed it up, and literally, it's not coming up at all. AEW is a tryout for WWE, and the reason why that was said, of course, is because if you missed out on the news about Mariah May, Mariah May has pretty much playing her cards closely to her chest. No pun intended. No pun intended. But long story short, Mariah May, her contract with AEW is expired, which is why she hasn't been seen at all on TV. And right now, she's just mulling between AEW and WWE. Doesn't know where she's going to go. She's waiting to hear who has the bigger bag and what's best for her career-wise, which I think is smart. You know, by the way, Mariah May, we'll see you in NXT soon. You know, but honestly, unless she goes for the bag in AEW. I do think there's not really too much for her to do in AEW anymore. You're already women's champion. You had an amazing run. What else are you going to do at this point? I think Toni Storm is taking over. They have Megan Bayne at this point. I think you should definitely test the waters in WWE, my thought. But, of course, Ray Phoenix going over, Penta going over, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints. Excuse me. That was an accident. Sean Spears. You know, there's a lot of these guys that are making their way from AEW. Hell, Kevin McKnight, he got a WWE tryout, and Tony Khan was just like, "What? Those guys are bums, bro. How about I just pay you? You know, how about you just come on our roster just up front?"
He said, "Why don't you try out this money?"
Exactly, try out this money. Here go $100K, brother. Try out this. But honestly, Tony Khan, you know, and honestly, huge shout out to Tony Khan for that. You know, it was like Kevin was just like, "Hey man, I got a tryout." Tony Khan was like, "How about I give you a job?" You know, I think that's actually pretty dope. You know, and he fought Willie Ospreay, and not only did he lose, but he had an awesome showing. You know, and he's a really, really fun wrestler to watch. So we got to give him a whole lot of credit for that, and we got to give Tony Khan some credit for that as well. But that doesn't make the quote of AEW is just a tryout for WWE less true. Do you agree with that sentiment?
From what we've seen over the past couple months, yes, because I mean, look at, like I said, Ricky. Look at Ethan Page. I'm gonna put their whole name. I don't know them personally like that. Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, like you said, Penta, Ray Phoenix. I mean, look, they popping in and they already been sliding right into Ray Phoenix just had a WrestleMania match, and he just showed up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a crazy. I put it like this: that's a crazy way of looking at the past couple course of years of where AEW, where people were like, "Oh man, everybody gonna leave WWE and go to AEW. You be free, you do what you want, you know, reinvent yourself, yada yada." Now You see people leaving AEW, jumping. No, look at Rusev. I mean,
Rusev, Malachi
granted
Black,
he,
Saraya just left.
yeah, I mean, granted he was WWE first, but I mean, look, he's bounced right back over to, got himself all in nice shape. Now he right back over in WWE. But
Cody Rhodes. Sorry, I'm done.
yeah, exactly, it goes on and on. Like it's yeah.
And we can do the
I'm,
same thing. We can have a list of WWE wrestlers that have gone to AEW, but
yeah,
at
Ricochet.
first they were happy. There was a point in time like 2021-ish with Ruby Soho, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole. It was like, oh, Tony Khan opened up his wallet. Not only did he open up his wallet, we finna have some banger matches. And we did for maybe a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah, maybe like a good year and a half. And I think that's where everybody got split. Now, I think it's progressively getting better? No. And the reason why I say that is because I try to finish these matches, but sometimes the main events don't make sense. Jon Moxley still hasn't dropped this title yet. I'm glad he's finally getting choked out, but I don't think the ops are going to be doing too much. Jon Moxley has definitely become sad to say, a cancer to AEW and their ratings. And we don't care about ratings. We're not going to clown nobody for ratings. But when that was the only thing Tony Khan talked about, and now we don't hear a word about it anymore, it kind of says a whole lot. And so AEW got themselves in a little bit of a mess. They only are, as we talked about in our last episode, they only want to wrestle and pinpoint to their core audience, and that's it. And I do see a lot of people leaving. I see a lot of people leaving because of that. What do you think is the reason why a lot of people are leaving? Is it just because the grass is greener in WWE?
Currently, yes, it is, because in WWE, it's like it. I put it like this: if I'm sitting in AEW and I'm seeing like Ray Phoenix, like I said, he just showed up, man, already in WrestleMania. Granted, like I said, Rey Mysterio got hurt. That's probably that's why. Still, the opportunity was there though. And you have opportunity to try on different things you probably weren't gonna do in AEW. So look at Ricky Saints. Ricky starts with we were like wondering, like, hey, free Ricky. We were just saying free Ricky for a minute. Like that, they were saying free, you know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to get people up out of AEW. And that's crazy because people was feeling like WWE like that. Like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I feel like I can't do nothing here. Da 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 da. AEW was like, hey, come over here, the land of opportunity. You do what you want to do, have fun. Nah, people be like, oh, I'm fine, but I'm not on TV. I'm frustrated. I'm this and that, and it's the same kind of way people was feeling. Who knows? Maybe another 5 years, it may swipe it. It may switch again. Who knows?
Right.
But that's the dynamic of where people were trying to itch to get to AEW. Now they're trying to itch to get out of there to back to WWE. Like we're talking about Malachi Black coming, or Alistair, who, like I said, whatever black man shows up. The black man wanted out of AEW.
Yeah. I'm actually watching this right now. Oh man. And now to top it all off, this is AEW Collision immediately following the NBA playoffs. Yeah, good luck. good luck. With that. Obviously, I'm not yesterday I turned on AEW. I saw the Young Bucks was fighting. I immediately turned it off. I refuse to give them any type of viewership. That's just the biggest. That's just how much of a hater I am right now. I just got something that Anna Jay is finally going to be wrestling for the first time in 2025. We haven't seen her since December. So there's still people sitting on the shelf, of course. We got FTR mingling with Stokely Hathaway. He's back on TV, of course, to manage FTR. That's new. And then, of course, I'm trying to find this tweet as well because our favorite hater, Drainmaker, now he doesn't hate us, but he just posts a lot of idiotic stuff. And he talked about WWE grabbing AAA. Because, of course, you see in the news on WrestleMania that they acquired AAA. We're going to have a Worlds Collide pretty soon. But Drainmaker made a comment that AEW works with competition. WWE just buys them. That's the difference between AEW and WWE. And it's like, brother, doesn't Tony Khan own Ring of Honor? You know, it's like,
I was like, did he not just buy? Okay, sorry.
but
Yeah,
like,
did he
not only that, Tony Khan had a partnership with TNA that went absolutely nowhere. The only thing that they did was what Kenny Omega won both belts, and bald headed Callis was like, "Hey, bro, y'all gonna see us on Tuesday." Dynamite is Wednesday. That's my Tony Schiavone present. Dynamite is Wednesday. He was like, "No, we'll be on TNA on Tuesday." And they're like, that was probably the best thing they did for TNA. And other than that, that was it. We literally saw Joe Hendry fight Randy Orton.
I'm about to say WWE just brought the TNA champion to WrestleMania. Like,
granted, they pretty much crapped all over him. You know, they pretty much was like, bum. You know, like, get him out of here.
I mean, it's Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I can see he was in there with like Akira Tozawa, and Tozawa beat him in like 5 seconds.
And I think they did that because, like, bruh, no matter, Joe Hendry could do that and literally show up on Tuesday, and we act like nothing happened. Even Trick Williams, you already had your 5 minutes of fame. Let's talk about it. You know, like, Trick Williams had to fry him a little bit for it, but we got something great out of it. And Joe Hendry could go through that and come out unscathed, which I think was pretty cool. And Randy Orton is a funny guy.
When he was at the Royal Rumble,
we were there. You know, we popped for Joe Hendry. You know, it was just so cool. Everything was so. I'm sorry, I thought he showed up. I'm sorry, but it was one of those things where it was that was lame. I'm sorry, that was lame.
I mean, when you did say his name,
but no, I mean, it was cold. Like, with just talking about Tony Khan, I feel like a lot of people give Tony Khan too much praise. I think Triple H. I think Triple H gets both of it too much. I think he gets too much praise, and I think he gets too much flack because they can be one bad Raw. Triple H, you need to give up the book. Well, a lot of
people, yeah, they were like, I miss Vince McMahon book. Like, it's like, dang, all right,
literally, and it's all because Gunther got choked out. Like, brother, it's not that deep. Like, it's not that deep. I'm mad, but it ain't that deep. Like, you know,
other things in the store, you know.
Yeah, and there's some people that celebrated Tony Khan coming out there. We had more episodes than WCW. Like, he dropped 50 against Braun.
It's like it's like that guy with when he got the medal. It's like he's like celebrating and stuff.
Yeah, he got the skirt himself with the wine. And it's like, brother, you know, like, and that's the problem. And you know, it sucks to say, but that's why Nick Khan and Triple H, Paul Levesque, when they talk about Tony Khan, the first thing they say is the kid. Oh, well, the kid is doing great. The kid is doing great. Man, if I'm Tony Khan, call me kid one more time. Like, you know, like, we're going to have to talk about this. Call me kid one more time.
I'm going to show you a kid.
Right, exactly. It's like, Triple H, you can't even run around like that, bro. Like, you know, it's like, it's war. It's wartime. I don't know if Nick Khan got hands or not, but, you know, Tony Khan is one of those guys where, like, you were all talk early on in this race. This race turned on his head as soon as Vince McMahon got the boot, and we haven't heard him say a word.
Wrestling only has room for one Khan.
For one Khan.
Back in 2021, ain't it? Like
yeah.
That. And granted, I mean, things were looking up at that time, but when they not, I mean, just put your feet in the dirt and keep going.
Yeah. And they keep disrespecting Tony Khan. And I mean, he ain't gonna put up no fight. You know, he was talking crazy about Vince McMahon. I don't hear him talking crazy too much about Paul Levesque and Nick Khan. You know, and right now you really can't because AEW is just not in a good place creative wise. The people that love it are going to love it and they're gonna love it blindly. But you're losing fans daily. And you're going to continue to do that until something changes, until there is some change. But look, we already are an hour and 10 in. We got to at least talk about one more thing if Devin's okay with that. We'll make it quick. Nothing too crazy. WWE 2K25, we already gave our thoughts on it when it first came out. Look, it's been a while.
I actually did. Woman was on the cover. So I instantly just like threw my case out the window and said, "Forget it." And I put my John Cena back in. Okay, I'm down there.
And I put my John Cena back in. See, that's the crazy part. I wish there was a John Cena one, but we all can't get what we want, unfortunately. Actually, for those that follow the Twitch account, I actually did for WrestleMania. I actually did a live stream, where I pretty much went on a year I guess you could say I guess you could say like my career. I guess you could say I did like a little my career on Twitch where I did a whole year's worth of BS. I won the Royal Rumble, which look, I'm sorry, y'all gonna have to give me some love for that. Y'all gonna have to give me some credit for that because I don't think I won a WrestleMania. I mean a Royal Rumble ever.
He said, "Y'all should treat me like y'all treat Jey Uso, cause I won the Rumble. Me. He gonna be cutting promos and everything.
Man, I was a dog. They couldn't tell me nothing, man. And that's the thing. It was great. Everything about it was great. You know, from the story of it all, beefing with everybody, going up against Jacob Fatu twice because I accidentally didn't know what I was doing. But if Devin doesn't hate me, I do want to see. Is it okay if I can show just 2 seconds?
The footage.
Roll the
And he
footage.
like, I'm gonna be like, I don't want to see this footage, man. He like, he's gonna show us something terrible. Look at this. Got Cody right where he want him. Yeah, I can see. I'm sorry. I should have
got Cody right where he want him. Of course, this is the heel turn gaming. It only took 4 episodes, so I ran through it in 4 episodes, so not too long at all. There was actually an episode where somebody commented and said, "Hey, I really loved watching your TV show in Arizona." And I was like, I paused the game. I'm like, whoa, like I got chills. I was like, who are you? And it turned out to be it was a Texan named CK, and he was, man, me and him used to always go back and forth. Huge shout out to CK. Appreciated him for joining and tuning in. But this is pretty much what happened during the Twitch stream.
This what should have happened at WrestleMania.
Got him. Look at that 5-star match. Your boy has done it. Your boy has defeated Cody Rhodes with the package power driver. As Cody Rhodes is on the screen right now. 1, 2, 3. Your dog is a double champion. Oh yeah, because I was the United States champion for about a year.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I was already a
look at her.
Already.
Handing me both some belts.
See what I'm saying?
With my gold watch on, man. I love it.
I got a lot to say.
And of course, I had to break out, but we ain't gonna watch that.
Yeah, see, Outlaw. Look at that ring.
Look at this. Yeah, there was a ladder in the ring. I don't know where it went. You ever notice that? There was a.
I did see that. When it started.
Nah, but I did have to beat the brakes off of Cody Rhodes. I got I put up both announcements. That's what he deserved. But honestly, I do want to do something like that again. I get paid tomorrow just to expose myself there. Get paid tomorrow. This payday.
So if you see a shortage of donuts, you know what happened.
A shortage of donuts, man. Oh, they're downstairs. No, actually,
they ain't never too far. They never too far away. You know.
This has been the new thing, man. Fannie Mae melt away. I've been eating.
This man eat them like while he driving. Like he'll sit him like on top of the dash, or like he just go like this when he driving. He just
buy one get one free. Like like it's serious. It's serious out here. Like it's serious. Like, and I had to go through all that BS traffic that Devin had to construct out there just to get these, but it's okay.
I'm starting to worry about the sugar content.
The sugar content. Well, tell me about the WWE content. I mean, the WWE 2K25 content.
Well, look, unlike you, I'm not about to run wreck shop through the WWE universe because me, just like I do NBA 2K, I pop in and have my little 5-star match. Uncle Dave tell me I did so great, and I'm like, you know what? I did so good. I'm finna walk away from this game forever. And I'm like, Roman. When I do come back, the ones go up. Because this man, he be cheating and he be pulling out all types of stuff. Y'all saw what happened. Look, I'm gonna call it a season. Y'all saw what happened last season on 2K24. This man cheated me. I literally kicked out. But did the game kill? No. So obviously, you see, I was screwed so much. Like I feel like Drew McIntyre. I see exactly why that man crashes out. Okay, because I was getting screwed left and right last year. Whether it was college football, whether it was WWE 2K. But you know what? It's 2025. So it's a whole brand new year. So I'm going to be back, okay? And you just heard him say he got paid. So that means he's going to be online. And I will follow him there.
Yeah, that's the number one reason why I brought this up.
See, I was trying to build up the anticipation.
Yes, because Devin Lee Crimes. I'm going to have Xbox Live tomorrow. I'm getting my baby back. baby back. So the big question here: are you ready to get tapped in GM mode, or are we not doing GM mode?
Man, look at this, man. Look at this. I will show you what a real general manager look like. All right, we've seen a lot of them in the past, and I've been doing my homework, and I found out that they ain't made a general manager like me. So I will show you. It won't be tomorrow because tomorrow is a scary day, but we're gonna get through it.
Oh yeah, it won't be tomorrow. Well, obviously, when we do it, we're gonna post on our because we're gonna live stream it. We're gonna live stream it. We're gonna have Devin on call. Well, we can live stream it on either my account or Devin's account, either or. The Dev
We're
Junior.
gonna simulcast it. Oh, I just want to say,
simulcast it. You can watch it on Dev Junior 98, or you can watch it on the Izzy Goat on Twitch. And honestly, look, I'm beating the brakes off this dude. Let's be y'all already seen what I did on my GM when Liv Morgan was trying to extort me from Devin. When Devin was trying to whisper in her ear. So I took first place. I didn't win. I didn't take first place in fans, but I took first place in general. That's all that matters. So, are we gonna go by fans, or are we gonna go by achievements? What do you think?
I say fans because I put on great shows. I bring people in. They call me Devin draws everybody crimes. So, and also when I do pop up on Twitch, when I do pop up on Twitch, not only will you hear me, you will actually be able to see me. So all the time you was able to see this man, screaming and throwing his controller, you gonna see me, the Devin, in his nice and content atmosphere. It ain't no controller throwing for me because we always in control. So I'm just telling people, to be looking out because it's gonna be, different. It ain't gonna be what you saw last year.
Now it might be a little bit of tears. I know Devin probably can't take it. He probably ain't gonna be able to handle it. What you mean you drafted Roman? Redo.
Hey,
we redoing this now.
You know what? That will be tough, but we will adjust. All right. We built new stars. That's the thing we do. That's the thing we like to do. Keep it going. Like what CM Punk say back in the pipe bomb. He just spoke on the wheel. The thing gonna keep going. That's what we do. Look, I'm over here really. Look, I'm actually excited for this. Yeah, I'm gonna be ready, man.
We will get it set up. We're not gonna start it. We're just gonna get it set up, and then obviously, like I said, we'll send out a tweet when we're about to go live and get it all started. We'll probably do like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours until. Obviously, we'll just probably go by a time limit instead of just we're gonna go to this pay-per-view and call it a day, because that's how I did on my universe mode. I'd be like, all right, after Survivor Series, I quit. I'd be like, I tap out.
I quit. That's what you're gonna say again.
You should have seen when I won the World Rumble. I was like, all right, let me put my United States Championship on the line, because if I lose it, hey, I got a title match coming up. But I won, so I was like, look, I'm gonna just go to sleep. I was like, I hit that Haley Welsh. Anywho, I'm gonna go to bed now. I was like, the only difference is I ain't scam nobody. But yeah, so but yeah, like honestly, I do we're just gonna go by time. We're just gonna feel it and play it by ear. So we would love for you guys to tune in.
When I get tired of getting my butt whooped, I'm gonna call it a day.
We also are gonna do something new here. We're also gonna cut up the lives, and we're gonna post them as well. So if you don't want to watch the full live, or you weren't able to watch the full live, or you want to get some insight on what me and Devin have said over the course of the past week or so, we'll definitely post a little bit of our clips on YouTube, as well as posting updates of, if Devin thinks of an idea of why Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker is a bad mix. Devin is going to go on YouTube and make a video about that if he wants to. And I can come up here and be like, why John Cena sucks today. Why John Cena is ruining his reputation, ruining his career right now. We can make a video about that. We just want to just put some more content out there, have some fun with it as well, and also just put some time in. But enough of me talking. I already do enough talking. Devin, is there anything you want to say before we close this show out?
Look at that. It's been a minute, but as they say, I'm right back in it. I had to get the little symmetric. It ain't all that. It is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, It's your guy, Devin Lee Crimes Jr. And yeah, look, WrestleMania is can't believe it's here and it's gone. And you know, we on the 42, and that's how we gonna do it. You know, every day we gonna just keep going. So as you know, look out on Twitch so you can watch me put on the smackdown on this man in GM mode. And as he said, you know, you may just see us pop up one day. I may come on and go, look, let me tell you why Roman should do this and do that, you know. And hey, you're gonna see our faces a lot more often. So next time I, you know, have my hair in a better way. You know, I had told him I'm gonna put this do-rag on so we don't drive people away because of my hair. So yeah. But I'm gonna keep it at that, and I'm gonna hand it back over to the number one hater in the nation, Isaiah Jackson Jr. See, look at that. I just, you know, I just left it there. You know,
Number one hater in the nation.
They're still true to this day.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. I disagree completely. But you know, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I let my haters be my motivators. I forgot what movie I got that from.
My haters be my motivators. Hey, I'm gonna use that.
Honestly, man, we thank you guys for staying with us through thick and thin. Huge shout out to Justin for joining us as well. Coming through.
Y'all seen how I had to dip out of here when he popped up, man. It was like, oh shoot.
Scary dude. Huge shout out to Mr. Hill. We haven't seen Hill in a minute. He also popped up in our last stream. And so, like I said, be on the lookout for us on YouTube and Twitch as well. We are going to be we're going to start multicasting as well, semi-simulcasting as well. We're going to do a whole lot. We're going to get to work. And I know I say that every time, and then we go on like a 1 month hiatus. But I promise you,
this time we gonna grab what's been keeping us away, and we moving it out the way. Because I had to do it. I told this man yesterday, I was like, I will be there at 7. You know, screw everything else. I'm gonna be there. You know, let a dog bark. Who cares? It's the heel turn is where it's at, and that's where it's gonna be. Sorry.
And I think Thursday's a good schedule. I think Thursday at 7 has been really, I guess, worked really well for us even in the past. So, you know, and I like it. I like it. And I want to, at least on an off day, you know, be like, hey man, something's burning inside of me. I gotta talk about John Cena.
I gotta talk about why Liv Morgan don't deserve nothing she has given.
Right. I'm like, Liv Morgan just been so successful. I gotta hate on her. Like, you know, it's just like I gotta do something. I gotta hate. You know, it's like I will try to put some more videos out there. And like I said, we all have free reign on this channel. So we're gonna try to go crazy. Huge shout out to Devin the Tribal Chief as well. Since we're giving out shout outs, he just reached 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Want to give my man some love. He's been a huge not only as he came on the program before, he's also contributed, you know, with the retweets and also just playing a part, commenting on TikTok. Just been a really stand-up human being. So we want to give him some love as well. Huge shout out to Circle of Debate. And of course, huge shout out to the people that popped up on Twitch. Race Survivor Trey. Every time I popped up on Twitch, boom, he was there. We're talking about wrestling. You know, we got some love popping up. Even when we weren't going on YouTube doing lives, when we were on Twitch, when we were on Twitter, you know, there were people out there still showing love and appreciating us. And we do got to show some love and appreciate them as well. So thank you guys. I'm finally done talking. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.